What's up YouTube? This is Ryan with Sports Card Rush and I'm back with another video. Today I have something a little different. I kind of debated whether or not I was going to do this, but I decided to just go ahead and do it just to kind of get it out there and to start like a new kind of project with this. So I had placed an order through SGC, which is a grading company out of Florida. Way back in, it was actually the end of August, and it was submitted in their system September 1st. And the reason I did it is, if you recall back in the summer, things were so crazy with the grading companies, PSA and Beckett, that it looked like there was no way you're ever going to get your cards back from PSA. Things were so backed up and so slow, and it was just kind of chaos. And I saw a couple interviews with the president of SGC kind of almost bragging about, you know, how they had great turn times and they were able to meet demand and they have a great product and all this stuff. And also some other people hyping it too. And I was a little skeptical of it and thought, well, maybe I'll give it a try just with some lower end cards or things that I probably wouldn't submit through PSA. And I ended up giving it a try. Like I said, submitted it on September 1st. And it's a little weird too, and part of the reason why I wasn't sure if I was going to do this video is things have changed so much with really all the grading companies, but with SGC specifically. At the time when I submitted it, this is the invoice that I got back. At the time I submitted it, it was $10 per card, and that was like the flat rate, and I think it was up to like a $1,000 value. Might have even been different. It's kind of hard to know now because their website's changed a little bit, but I paid $10 per card. I submitted 15 cards, and then there was $25 for shipping, and so I paid $175 total dollars for 15 cards. And for whatever reason, the system like updated to what their new charges are, so now they charge $15 per card up to a $500 value. And so it's a little different, and I'll get to that here in a second, what my thoughts are on that. But their turn time at this time, I want to say they said 30 to 45 days when I submitted it, but again, I can't find that specific information, but it was something around that time frame. And that was another reason why I wanted to try it and see, hey, can I get it back sooner? And so what happened was, after that, the president went on some different YouTubers channels and talked about how their service was great and stuff. They got flooded with requests and orders, and so they got insanely backed up too. And I feel kind of bad for the guy because, you know, how would you know that it was going to get that crazy? And so they ended up getting super backed up, and their turn times were just as bad, if not worse, than PSA and BGS were during that time period. So they ended up it was kind of a humble pie situation where they got super backed up too. My order ended up taking, I just added it up. I submitted it on August 27th. They put it in their system on September 1st. And then I ended up getting it back on, I believe, mid-December. So it was like December 17th, I think, something like that. And I just added up the dates. It was around like late 70s for total business days, 78, something like that for business days. So, I mean, it's not good, but it's not terrible either. It's not like it's 6 months or a year. You got to always factor in, whenever they give you those date estimates for total days, it's by business days, so you have to take out holidays and weekends too. So, you know, there's 20 to 23 or 4 days, business days in a month, depending on holidays and where the weekends fall. So that's what it was at the time. They say now on their website that the $15 for cards up to $500 are 65 to 70 business days. So that's about 3 months or a little less than 3 months there, depending on, again, like the holidays and dates and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's probably pretty close, maybe a little shorter than what PSA is doing right now with their kind of their middle low tier product that you can't even do directly. You have to do it through a submitter site, and I actually just did that through Clay Cards, and theirs for kind of the similar level was $25 per card. Some are higher, some are lower, but I think 25 to 35 is kind of what you end up paying there. So it's a little cheaper. So if you think about that, it's about $10 cheaper per card. But what I was just doing here a little while ago is I was looking at some comps comparing SGC late graded cards to PSA, and it's still not even close value-wise. Their PSA cards go for way more. I was looking at some Trae Young PSA 10s. The Trae Young Optic and the Donruss rated rookie cards are both about twice as much. So the Optic, I don't know the exact numbers, but it was, you know, about $100 difference there. So I just hesitate to say like this is a good option if you are looking to get the best bang for your buck, because PSA values are just so much higher still. What I will say is they are SGC, and this could be both a bad thing and a good thing, is they are pretty tough on grades, or at least equivalent to PSA and Beckett, and I think even probably a little stricter than PSA is on grades. So that can be, I mean, both a good thing and a bad thing, where it's a good because you know it's reputable and you know you're getting cards that are in good shape. You know, some of those fly-by-night grading companies that give everything a 10 just because they want people to submit to them. You know, it doesn't do any good to do that, and it kills your company. But these are pretty tough. But on the flip side of that too is you're not gonna get, if you get a 9 through SGC, you're like, that just kills the value. Like there's just not a huge market for those lower grade cards for SGC versus, you know, PSA. You can still sometimes get some money back by selling 9s or 8s or whatever it might be. So that's kind of my rant on it. The things I do like about SGC is I did like their website. I like that their website better than the PSA one. It just was a little easier to navigate and input your cards and kind of see where your status was and stuff like that. I think PSA has been updating their stuff too, where it looks a little better than it used to. I also, you know, it was a little more straightforward too with the pricing, like plans. It's just, you know, right now it's $15 per card up to $500, and that's kind of it. If you want to do a super rush one, that's 1 to 2 business days. That's $100, and that's kind of just a flat fee for almost any kind of level. I also did not initially kind of like, I didn't really care for their case design, but it's kind of growing on me now. I didn't love the fonts, and we'll get to it here when I show what I got for grades, and I'll kind of show what I mean by that. But it does look kind of sharp when you're looking at it in person too. So with that, let's just get to what I got and kind of what I'm trying to do with it too. So like I said, I spent $175 total here, and so the project that I'm going to do here is try to sell these cards. I'm not really attached to any of them, so I'm going to try to sell them and see kind of how that worked out with, you know, the profit versus what I spent and stuff like that. So here's what I got: 15 cards, and the kind of start with just the way it was ordered, but the first one's probably the worst card that I got. So I opened up a box of 2013 Top Strata that was $50, and I was, you know, these aren't like high-end cards by any means, so I was kind of just thought this would be a good one to submit to just test out and see if I can get some of that money back for $50 worth of product. And so this first one is an orange Zach Ertz rookie card, and as you can see, like, it isn't in great shape. Like, I don't exactly know why I submitted it other than it was a parallel, and Zach Ertz is a pretty good following for Philly. And so this one got an 8.5, and so this one I don't really think this is worth a ton of money, so it might be a $10 to $12 to $15 card maybe, I don't know, we'll see. So like I was saying here, it's a black border, which I'm sure you all kind of have seen these before. I thought they kind of look chintzy, especially like the font here. I'm not a huge fan of the font of the number, which is kind of a silly thing, but in person it looks a lot better than what I think it looks like on camera or in pictures too. So it, like, in a picture it kind of looks like this is just like a regular piece of paper printed out, but in person it's a lot more you know, stylish, and I think it even has a little gloss to it. So there's a lot more to this than what it looks like just in pictures. But clean design. The black border I think looks really good on some cards, and some cards it looks maybe not so good. So just to compare here, the PSA, kind of the top part of it, and PSA obviously is a clear case and pretty basic with the red around the label, and this has a black, you can't really see through it, edge to it. So kind of the comparison there. So it's just kind of whatever you think for your own personal preference to it. So that's the first one. Kind of a not a good grade here, but didn't really deserve it, so that was kind of a good test card to see. Next one, again another Strata one, Le'Veon Bell rookie card. Again, not a huge value card, but he is playing in the Super Bowl, so if he's healthy, I'm not sure if he is or not, but kind of a guy that has a little bit of a following too, and just wanted to test that out, see how it goes. But that one did get a 10, and it does look pretty sharp, so I think that one was warranted. And then one more from Strata, the DeAndre Hopkins base one that also got a 10. And I actually ended up doing better than I thought I would, because I did know that they kind of had a reputation for being tough on grades, but I did pretty well with what I got. Next up, I have some Chronicles cards that, in August, Chronicles was the big release, and I wanted to get some cards submitted from it, and just did some kind of the basic cards. So this is just the base Giannis, and I got a 10 on that one too. No idea what the value will be on something like this, especially through SGC. And that one actually, if you look at it like that, this side looks a lot fatter than this side, but it still came back a 10. The other thing with this too, compared to PSA, there are 9.5s, and I have one right here. Another Giannis, this is a teal for threads. This one came back at 9.5. Not exactly sure what triggered that, but it's not a huge deal. So yeah, 9.5, if you compare it to PSA, like there's more of a margin for PSA, because a 9.5, I would think, depending on like what it is, rounds up to a 10 for them, and just optically, I think people can prefer 10s to 9.5s. Next, I have some of my favorite cards from this year, at least from the lower end sets. Heroes Prestige. This is the Lamar Jackson, just the base version. It got a 10. I wasn't sure about these either, because of it's kind of hard to tell where the centering is on them. Maybe if you go by point to point, you can kind of tell, but I'm really happy about that too. And I did another one with Aaron Rodgers. This one got a 9.5. Not exactly sure what's caused it to be dinged a little bit, but still, nice card. Really cool cards. I think they're awesome, and they're not really that valuable right now, but I still like them. Then I was doing some just base paper Donruss. This is 2017, the Poop Brown ones. Did Alonzo Ball, got a 9.5, and there's a little bit of whiting up on the top. And one of the more disappointing ones was this Donovan Mitchell. I got a 9. Might have been centering on that one. And again, a little bit of whiting. It's one of the problems with these darker backgrounds, but still cool. And probably the best card, the most valuable card here, is a Trae Young Donruss rated rookie base. I was looking today. Somebody has a bunch of these listed. Just have a select your quantity of 9 of these, and they listed them for 100 even plus shipping. I think I might wait a little bit on this one, wait for those to clear out. I think it's only going to go up here as the season goes on, as he's had a really good season, and they're actually playing pretty well right now, or at least above 500 at the time. Next, I did some football. So this is, again, back in August, late August, early September when I was submitting these. So trying to, hopefully was going to catch the end of the football season and didn't quite make it. This one didn't turn out great, so I got a 9 on this. Not sure what the issue was with it, but Daniel Jones kind of was hoping he would have a good year, and he had an okay year, not anything great. And Barkley went down, of course, so but they got a 9 too, so who knows what this is worth. Might be $10. And then another guy that I was kind of speculating on, Gardner Minshew. This is the Prism base card. At the time, again, he was going to be the starter going into the year, and had some momentum from last year and was doing some commercials and stuff like that. This one got a 10. Might still be a little bit of a market for it, but definitely not like a $100 card or anything like that. Especially with them with a new coaching staff and top draft pick. Saquon Barkley got a 9, kind of a bummer. 2. And a Baker also got a 9, also a bummer. And then the last card, which is in a sleeve for some reason, but just the Optic Gardner Minshew, got a 10. So, again, didn't do great, didn't do terrible. Nothing in there was anything that I feel like, if it was other than the Trae Young, nothing in here was really worth so much that I felt like I made a mistake on submitting it through SGC versus PSA, but just kind of an experiment. So I'm going to try to sell some of these, all of them, and see kind of what I can get back for them, and just kind of go from there and kind of get an idea of like whether this was a good idea or not. So I paid $175. I think I should easily be able to get that back, especially with that Trae Young in there. But it's kind of will be interesting to see what this would compare to with PSA. So what do you think? Have you submitted through SGC? Do you like SGC? Do you like their cases? And do you like, have you dealt with their service or any issues with them? What do you think? Comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a good day. Thank you.